Hey, what's happening? That caught me off guard. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut. Bright and freaking early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. What's happening? I just noticed, man, my MAGA barber left my hair awfully long on top this time. Now that it's grown in a little bit, it's gotten way too long. I don't usually like it quite that. Hey, at 57, I should probably just be glad I have hair. Anyway, all right, man, what's happening? I got two stories for you, but as you guys know, I don't like just giving you guys, repeating stories and giving you guys the news. I got two really interesting MAGA land breaking news stories that I want to share with you guys. But it's just, two basic stories. But then I kind of had an epiphany, I guess you could call it I realized something. I want to share it with you guys, and I'm serious about this, and I want to know what you guys think. It's the whole far right MAGA movement, and I think I kind of understand something a little more now. All right, back to those two breaking news stories. Number one, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll put all the actual documents down below. There's breaking news stories this morning about Dr. Dre sent her a cease and desist order. Stop all future action. Apparently, Marjorie Taylor Greene used one of Dre's songs. I can't find this video because it's been taken down. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's, because she didn't pay attention right away, she was using this song. She had Dr. Dre's Still Dre. I think that's from the early 2000s. It's an older song. It's about 20 years old. And she's strutting through the halls of Congress. And it's got Still Dre. The beat's playing in the background. She's all tough. Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're all bad, So she has no permission to use this. And Dre does not like Marjorie Taylor Greene with good, Dre basically said, man, I will not now, nor have I ever, nor will I ever give you permission to use any of my songs ever, not one single note. And you better cease and desist by, he gave her a date, he sent her a letter, cease and desist order. Okay, she didn't pay attention to it right away. So Dre's lawyers got in touch with Twitter, and Twitter closed down her Twitter account because it was still posted there. So you can't find this video anywhere now. The video's been taken down of her strutting through the halls with Still Dre beating in the background. Okay, so then Marjorie Taylor Greene fires off this kind of comical, stupid letter back to Dre, saying that, although I admire your chord progressions, like trying to sound all hoity-toity, like she understands, rap. Although I admire your chord progressions, I would never use, and you're glamorizing anti-police, misogynistic, drug and thug life music. I would never use it. She denies ever using it. So this is what's hot right now. I'll put the links down below so you guys can read the whole thing yourself. You can see the documents. Her response is kind of the funniest thing. With the whole chord, I admire your chord progressions. She's trying to sound like she. I guarantee you, she got one of her staffers to come up with that. How can I say something where I don't sound like I'm insulting them, but like I'm knowledgeable of music and rap music? How can I go about this? Because I'm sure she didn't say chord progressions herself. All right, next story. Diamond and Silk. Man, I can't stand these two, and the reason I can't stand these two is because I associate losing my ex-girlfriend, my best friend, to COVID. I associate with people like this and their disinformation. The two black women, Diamond and Silk, they're two sisters from North Carolina. And Diamond kicked the bucket. She's gone. She died. She passed away. I think she was 51 years old. The link will be down below. Apparently, Trump came on his Trump Social, page or whatever you call it. I've never been on Truth Social, and I never will be. And we've lost the great Diamond of Diamond and Silk, and she was a great warrior for freedom and the people. No, she was one of the very few black ladies that fell for your nonsense and hate. And actually, used her as a pawn. That's the long and short of it. But anyway, Diamond of Diamond and Silk has passed away. The two of these ladies worked for Fox News for a while, and they started pushing this misinformation. Now, this has kind of led me to my epiphany. This kind of leads into what I was kind of picturing the whole big story. They were working for Fox News, and they started this COVID, this vaccine COVID nonsense, misinformation, and that's how I lost. My ex-girlfriend, my best friend Audrey, didn't get vaccinated. Went down to Jacksonville, Florida, in the middle of the Delta variant exploding there, and within 6 weeks she was gone, dead. Right before she left here, she said, "No, I don't really trust the vaccine. I'm not getting vaccinated." And then less than 2 months later, she was gone. And I point my finger directly at people like Diamond and Silk. And then they also went on about the election being fraudulent and rigged and all this other stuff. So I started thinking about this. I started thinking about people like Diamond and Silk, and their whole view of things. Like, they view that they're right, that they have this, the freedom of speech, that they have the truth on their side, that they know something everybody else doesn't, that there's this cabal that's trying to hide everything. And I really thought about that more, and what that actually is. What it actually, take a good close look at it. So I started thinking about that. There's the MAGA, the far right, the Republicans, because pretty much now, as we saw with the whole McCarthy incident, the far right pretty much owns the Republicans right now, and Trump and the far right, MAGA land, own it. That's what the Republicans have become. And then there's the rest of us, the majority, the people that know the truth. Now, the people on the right, they argue for freedom of speech because they're arguing against big tech and the Hollywood elite and the Democrats and the lying media. So I really started thinking that, and let me know what you think. I really broke that down, and it's really simple once you look at it. There's this smaller group of people that feel entitled, that feel like they deserve America more than anybody else, that America is better than any other country. They want to cover up anything bad that America's ever done, whitewash everything, the far right. It's this smaller group of people. That Trump really won the election, the whole COVID, the China virus nonsense, all that stuff. It's a smaller, probably less, I'd estimate less than 1/3 of America. Then there's the rest of us. Okay, now what else is our lives influenced by? What other people come into our lives? There's the TV, right? That comes in, other people that comes into our lives. The movies and TV. Now, and then there's the news. Then there's social media. So there's basically 3 entities that enter our regular people lives, both the right and the left. And those people see the truth too. They're other, the Hollywood, the movies, they are regular people. The news, they're regular people, and social media. Let's start with movie and the TV. The people they call the Hollywood elite. They're speaking, they know that this is nonsense. So the far right, they call this the Hollywood elite. Oh, they're in with the cabal. So that they're trying to cover up the truth. Then there's the news that also agrees with common sense, with the rest of us. Well, they're the lying news media. That's why you can't get the truth from them. Then there's social media or big tech. Okay, now that's interesting because that's divided really into 2. And what was their rationale for common sense coming through there? Well, they're trying to suppress the far right. It's big tech, the whole Elon Musk and how the Democrats are taking over big tech and suppressing all the truth about Donald Trump and the rigged election and COVID and all that stuff. So I started thinking about this. There's this smaller group of basically illiterate, entitled people, bigoted, misogynistic, entitled people. A smaller group, kind of like in Brazil, what's going on there now. We see it repeating itself. I think it's probably happened all through history. and anybody else that comes into their lives that has common sense. The election wasn't rigged. The COVID, the vaccines work. That kind of stuff, like Hollywood, people in Hollywood, TV, the news media, and social media. They have excuses for everybody else that comes into their lives. Well, they're part of the cabal. They're part of the big tech. They're part of the lying news media. We know the truth. No, man, you don't know the truth. You don't. And what you call freedom of speech is dangerous disinformation. We saw that on January 6th. It was dangerous. People died due to flat out lies. It's not another version of the truth. It's misinformation. It's lies. So should there be freedom of speech just to tell, that white is really black is supposed to be white, or white is black, or the sun is the moon, or that the earth is flat? No, it's a lie. And Hollywood will tell you that. The news will tell you that. And most of social media, the people that have any common sense will tell you that. But then there's this smaller group of people that think everybody else is lying to them. And it's all part of the cabal and the big conspiracy. And we're the little people that know the truth. The people of America that are fighting for freedom of speech. Yeah, I know I ranted, but this is how I see this. Because I still see this popping up in people around me. This whole COVID nonsense. I'm still hearing this. Even though there's people near me that know I lost Audrey, that know I lost my best friend, and they actually say to my face, "Oh, the vaccines don't work," and I just stand there and I'm like, "Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know what I've lost in the last 2 years to your nonsense?" And I'm still hearing this, and they don't listen. They don't even pay attention. They don't read the newspapers. They don't watch the news, and they listen to a very small portion of social media that agrees with them. It's nonsense. It's not freedom of speech. It's not an alternative view. It's nonsense. All right, that's my thoughts today. I'm sorry if I ranted, but I had to get this off my chest. You guys let me know what you think. Have a good Tuesday.